Today we're going to be showing you how to get your Bavarian Motor Works vehicle to run way better. That's why we're here, to show you the secrets the dealership won't, to get that turbo, the motor, to last longer and stronger. Today we're back with a special part of the channel, Katie. She's had many of her vehicles on the channel. She's going to be around to share with you how her vehicles have ran after we've run these products. I'm going to be here to kind of show you what it looks like using the products. My name's Eben, your oil and lubricant specialist. Today we're going to kick it off on this 2018 X2 BMW. It's a 2-liter turbocharged vehicle. We got some high quality 100% synthetic European oil. Meets and exceeds all the major specs. The LS, low sulfur ash and phosphorus, so it keeps your emission system protected. This is a one-take video, so it's going to be long, but it's going to be worth your time. So I'm going to want you to go ahead and subscribe so you can come back and see this glorious process, be able to do it on your own vehicle. Let's get to doing it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put in the engine flush, and we're going to get a funnel here, which is right there. And what this is it's a very thin detergent, and that's going to thin out the motor oil. It's going to get carbon from inside the turbo. It's going to clean oil cooler ports, all that sticky gunk that gets built up around the timing chain, and soot, especially if you have a vehicle with soot thickening and other things like that. So we are going to peel this thing. Sometimes these caps get a little weird, and you got to just poke them in with a pick. If not, you're good. So here we go. Got a nice clean oil cap here with no dust. And that goes right into the crankcase motor oil. This particular vehicle holds 5.6 quarts of motor oil. And for a 2-liter, that's good. It keeps you a little extra protection if you have a little bit of oil consumption, stuff like that. And this is one of those vehicles you check the oil level on the computer. So it's one of those unique ones. And before we idle it, we're going to be putting in our next additive, which is going to be a part of this whole cleaning process. And that one's called PI Performance Improver Gasoline Additive. And so we're going to go ahead and come over here to the gas cap, and we're going to do it over here. So we're going to pop the gas cap. However we do that, I think we just push in here.
Yep. And
we twist and open it up. And we're going to go ahead and put it in. So I'm going to peel this little cap right here. And it's just a little bottle. And this bottle treats up to exactly 30 gallons of gasoline. Yeah. Trying to get a little purchase on peeling it. If not, I'm going to poke it in with a pick. Grab a little pick right here and just pop it in. Got it popped in, and we got it peeled. So you might want to get a little pick on that. And now we're going to go ahead and dump in this bottle of fuel additive. This cleans the injectors, cleans the tops of the pistons, carbon deposits around, all that stuff that touches gas. It's good for direct injection, also multi-port fuel injection, and carbureted vehicles. Like you just saw, took like 30 seconds. And it's got the gasless gas cap compatible tip. So not only can you stick it in, you can also yank it out, which makes it super simple and easy. Now that all these additives are in this vehicle, it's time to start the cleaning process. This is what we call the idle period. We're going to do a 10-minute idle on this. We already got the belly pan off, all that stuff. So we're ready to rock once it's go time. Got the key, I think, in the middle here, right? Here's the key not here. Let's see. Is the key in? Nope, there it is. And once we got the key, we put our foot on the brake, start her up. So now we got it on the stopwatch, 10-minute countdown. We're going to talk about some subtle stuff that the dealerships won't tell you. And we're also going to give you subtleties on this particular Bavarian Motor Works model. This one takes a special oil cap that takes this particular socket. This socket is what's going to take off the oil cap. It's a specialty 32 millimeter shallow socket to get into that sweet spot. So you're going to need this to do this oil change. You're also going to need some other specialty tools that you're probably not going to have in a standard mechanics toolkit. Which is a vice grips. If you have a vice grips, you will want to be very careful with your cartridge filter. This right here is that size, and I tested it and I determined I don't want to use this and beat up the plastic on the cartridge filter. And so what the cartridge filter looks like is this Wix filter, which I recommend for about 7,500 miles. And then you can actually change this filter and go another 7,500 miles with oil analysis. So I recommend testing your oil if you want to push it. If not, I wouldn't take this cartridge filter 10,000 because they can collapse. They're not very thick and supportive inside. And so these pleats can go flat and squish together, and you can actually starve your motor of oil flow. And that's a great way to wreck a $15,000, $20,000 little 2-liter motor. So don't recommend taking this filter over 7,500 miles. Unfortunately, the oil monitor on these is 10,000 miles, I believe. So running this filter without the supportive backplating, like the AMSOIL filter. Now the AMSOIL filters are out of stock at the moment. Some of them are out of stock, but they will be coming back in stock soon. So keep a lookout for those. Keep an eye for that higher quality filter. It's a much higher quality synthetic media. Traps more contaminants with the AMSOIL filter, and it'll also extend the life of your engine by having less particles. Better reinforcement inside here. And we might have one over here. Do we have a cartridge filter? I think we got a cartridge filter over here. Let me grab one. So I'm going to go ahead and grab cartridge filter here. And I thought we did, but we don't. So if you don't have access to the AMSOIL filter, you're gonna just get a Wix filter, but change it at 7,500 miles or less. On my personal car, I go with the AMSOIL filter. I'll go the full 15,000 miles or 1 year of severe service, whichever comes first with the AMSOIL Signature Series. And we've got our O-ring in here, which we're going to be changing our O-ring. And we also have a backup crush washer if we need it. This one comes with a little crush washer, but we got a backup just in case. When you do the crush washer, you don't want to over tighten it. Usually these bolts are about 18 pound-feet of torque. So what I do when I use this big flex head ratchet, I'll loosen it from the grip back here. But once I loosen it, then when I go to tighten it, I tighten it from right about 6 to 8 inches away, and that way I don't over tighten the drain plug bolt. It's a great way to have better feel of what you're doing. If you're new to working on your car, I'm going to highly recommend you go out on ahead and get a torque wrench that gives you the exact spec. And they make digital ones, stuff like that. If you don't have a good touch and feel with your hands, you don't want to go monkeying around bending your oil pan or breaking parts on your car. So invest the money, get the torque wrench, and that way you only tighten it down to about 18 pound-feet of torque. That's what most of the vehicles are. And what happens if you go tighter, it doesn't seal any better. It just crushes the washer more. On a car that takes the soft drain plug, it'll actually smash that gasket and it'll actually leak. If you keep tightening it too hard, you can actually wreck it and crack that rubber. So you want to just double check your torque spec on that. Now we'll talk a little bit about the motor oil. This is a newer blend of AMSOIL, 100% synthetic European, low SAPs. LS, and that's low sulfur, ash, and phosphorus, sulfated ash. They add these different things for anti-wear additives. But the newer engines, like the BMW LL 17EE, those specs, service long life, these are the newer specifications that are specifically built for saving the birds, the bees, the fish, and the trees. And so it's like a whole new green initiative. And so with this and the new emission systems, smaller motors, they're making more power with the turbo, and they're burning less gas at idle. So these are all the beautiful little elements we got. We got 3 minutes until the engine flush is ready to drain down. I joke around with people a little bit, but I'm also serious. I say I've also been going green myself. I've given up on all the hand drying. So when I go into the bathroom, rub, use soap. When I'm done, I wipe my hands to my pants to dry them. And then here in the 110-degree weather here in Vegas, in 1 minute and 20 seconds, the tops of my hands are dry. And I just saved those couple sheets of paper. And I tell people in 20 years and 4 months, well, I've saved 1 tree. And so another person can get a chance to, you know, feel the tree. And you say 1 tree is nothing. But what happens if 66 million people stop drying their hands? In 20 years and 4 months, we'll have saved 66 million trees. So that's my green initiative, along with helping people get their car to run better and all that. So I always like having fun with it, but it's a lot of fun helping people get their car to run better. My name is Eben, your oil lube specialist. If you have any questions with these products, give me a call, 702-472-3614. Call me anytime. I'll be your guy, your go-to AMSOIL guy. Happy to help you with all the products. I do this stuff in my sleep. Been doing it for about 24,000 hours, helping thousands and thousands and thousands of customers all over US and Canada. And I've had hundreds of friends here in Vegas like Katie that we've helped them with their cars to run way longer, stronger, better fuel mileage, more efficient, and it gives you confidence, you know, when you don't have to worry about your vehicle. So this is a little way that you can get ahead now by ordering the AMSOIL products at syntheticoilprotection.net, and that'll make me your dealer. You can get it shipped right to you, and that way you're not going to be thinking, man, what happens if I have a question? Who can I call? You can call me 24 hours a day. If I miss you, if I have my phone turned off, I'll get back to you. And, you know, that's why I'm here. That's why I do the channel. I do it to give back to the community and keep people, what I like to refer to in the eating business, fat and happy. But when your car is fat and happy, you're happier. You sleep better. You have more confidence. You drive to work in the morning feeling like a new person. We got 40 seconds left, and it is go time. We got our 17 millimeter drain plug. Now we got a lot of videos on the channel where we change oil on all different types of cars. They're all very similar. I mean, this car, the only thing that's goofy about it is it's got that shallow socket, which I already showed you. You just want to be mindful of that. If you got a weird cartridge filter or something like that, but other than that, most cars are easier than you're gonna think to change the oil. And yeah, it's gonna be go time in 3, 2, and 1. All right, so I like to change the oil when it's nice and hot. Be very mindful about doing that so you don't burn yourself. You can get long cow insemination gloves if you want to be safe. If you've been doing this for a while and you know what you're doing, you can use a couple paper towels or a rag and not burn yourself. But I'm going in a little bit unprotected, but I got some rubbers, so get those thicker gloves if you don't want to burn yourself. Now we're going to start draining her down. We're going to do our filter all at the same time because it's all so close. All right. Drain plug's real easy to get to here. I'm going to go ahead and crack her loose, just like so. And if you can get a soft handle flex head ratchet, make your job a lot easier. You'll have a lot more confidence in the garage and you'll feel better about yourself. Ever since I got this ratchet, I feel like a different person. You have to pound your head against the wall trying to break things loose and be all self-conscious about stuff. And now we're going to get her by finger here. And all right. All right, we're going to do it on the count of 3. A 1, a 2, and a 3 here. Oop, nope, nope, nope. A little longer than I thought. A little longer than I thought. A little longer than I thought. And, oh, she is hot. Ooh, she's hot. Oh. All right, and we should be good here. And there she goes. All right. We got our old crush washer. We got our drain bolt. Now that she's draining good, looks good, we can go right on ahead, open up our oil cap. And what this is going to do, it's going to allow the oil to flow out a little quicker. So that way you're not waiting as long, tediously waiting to wait for it to drain. We'll grab a fresh paper towel here, like that. And we're going to go ahead and just open her up. And there we go. And our bolt is so hot, you can barely touch it with gloves. And this is the bolt. What I like to do is inspect it, make sure it's not rounded off. This is definitely a little bit goofy, but it's not enough for me to replace it. It's not that bad. It's fine for me, but definitely keep an eye on these bolts with people not using the right wrenches and stuff, using flatheads, which you don't want to use a, not a flathead, an open-headed wrench or something. You just want to use a socket. And then this is our crush washer, which is in still very good shape. And yeah, this, to me, this is reusable, but we got a fresh one. We'll just use the new one. And we got our filter here, which we're going to crack loose right now. So she's just starting to dribble a little bit. And we got our fresh O-ring for our cartridge, and we got our fresh crush washer. So here's our old crush washer here, new crush washer here. They almost look identical, but I'll use the new one since we got it. And that came with the Wix filter, which is good. So now we're going to go ahead and take off our oil filter, which is super easy once you have the right tool. All right, we're going to throw our extension on. Wipe this little couple of oil drops. And we're good. All right, grab our socket, pop off our thing here. The only thing with this socket, it holds on the socket so well, sometimes you can't peel it off. That's the good thing. Got that. That right there. 32 millimeter shallow socket. And now we're going to take off our cartridge filter, and I'll show you what that looks like right now. We're going to drain it into our big plastic pan, which we got at Wama. And we're good on that. It's leaking a little, so we're good. So here we go. We're going to take off our filter housing. It's going to drain a little bit here.
Is it okay if I use your restroom? Thank you.
Flex head. And there we go. That's what's good about the flex head, is you can get lots of angles without bumping into things, and just gives you, it just makes your job a lot easier. And I can almost get her by finger here, and right there, and right there. I'll let her drain for a sec. All right, looking good. And we got a man filter to show you here. This is a very popular filter. A lot of the OEMs use. Just letting the filter drain for a second, and we'll plop it right here on the ground, and I'll show you what she looks like. Good to go. So that filter is extremely hot. Definitely handle it with any type of rags. And go ahead and clean this cartridge filter up with brake parts cleaner. Let me show you one of my all-time favorite AMSOIL aerosol products. It gives me a lot of confidence because you can just blast it. It's got great punching power. And so we're going to save the hands by using towels. We're going to pull, twist, pops off the cartridge. And this is a Malay filter, very similar to the Wix. However, the biggest difference is this has like a material backplate that oil can go through, where this is plastic, holds up a little bit better. And then the cap at the top is almost identical. So you'll notice the cap is just about the same, but this back part is different. Also, the Wix has a little bit better reinforcement inside here, which is gonna keep your filter from collapsing. So, we're good there. Now we're gonna use our pick and pick off our little O-ring. Right here, right here. So it's got this little teeny rubber O-ring. That pops off. Once that's off, you just take your brake parts cleaner and clean your cap up. And this is why we call it Niagara Falls in a can. Just like that. It done. This is the chlorinated formula. This is my favorite brake parts cleaner out of any one I've ever tried. Huge punch and power. You can clean stuff from 15 feet away, and it dries almost instantly. Just a little couple shakes, and that's it. Completely dry. Now what we're gonna do, that it's completely dry, inside and out. It. Good to go. We're going to get our fresh crush washer, and we're going to get our O-ring right here, and we're going to lube it all up, show you what that looks like. And in the meantime, we're going to drop this car level because it's still dripping and the drain plug is on this side. So how we do that is we jack it up, take out the jack stand. Now, if you're not used to jacking up cars, I recommend you do that first time with an expert that knows how to jack up a car. Don't do it on your own. So I'm gonna jack her up for a sec. We're gonna remove our jack stand. And now we're gonna let her down level.